Hey, Steve Zonardi here with Remax Experts Zonardi Associates. Happy Monday morning. Just a real quick update on the inventory. I know we wanted to talk about this because we did a quick report on Friday regarding inventory. So on Friday we were at 17,999 units, and then as of today we're 8,279 units. We haven't seen this amount of inventory in quite a while, to be honest, since 2020. We had 778 sales happen, so that's not bad. The sales have come up, but also the inventory's dumped. So what we're finding is that we're having 200 new listings per day coming to market and only 100 selling. So we're going to double our inventory very shortly, which obviously is going to put strain on sellers trying to sell now. So more inventory, more options for buyers, lower prices for sellers, and more of a buyer's market going forward. So stay in tune for that. Clearly, if you are looking to sell, like, get to market, don't wait for a sunnier day. This is why we had that program earlier on, and we're still functioning with it right now, is that we're sending out a film crew and video crew to properties that are not ready to list, just due to circumstances. Maybe they can't get to the market because of family situation. So we're sending out photographers out now, getting all the exterior shots done now while the house shows really well with the grass and the garden. We're doing our intro video, and then what we're doing is we're piecing the interior video and photography to this video at some point. So it's obviously costing us twice as much money, but ultimately we want to be in the market to sell houses, not to just kind of save money on everything. So we're looking to invest in our clients currently right now if they are looking to sell. Another thing I want you guys to take a look at. I know you guys have been listening to what I've been saying about the amortization rate. I can never say that properly, that word. The amortization rate is basically, on average, 60 to 80 years. So the average mortgage payoff in Canada is 60 to 80 years. This is a true thing, kids. This is not something I've made up. So this article finally highlighted it, so I can kind of show you guys. But it says here, 70-year period's not realistic, OFSA says, okay? So currently right now, like when we sign into mortgages, like a 30-year AM was an extension. Then they shortened it back to 25. Then they went back to 30. So if your original contract with the banks is going to be a 25 to 30 year, and now the average Canadian's got a 60 to 80 year mortgage, at some point there's got to be a reckoning. Either when the renewal comes, you're going to have to bring that back down to a 25 to a 30 year, or they're just going to basically, you might be able to hold on to what you currently have. It's a variable, but at some point it's going to be due, so you're going to have to renegotiate. But let's read a little bit of this article here. So reality check for borrowers. Amid heightened interest rate and other economic pressures, some Canadians are beginning to stretch their mortgage repayment periods beyond 25 years, some for periods as long as 90 years. So this is never going to get paid off. We've basically created a slave train for all Canadian ownership in Canada, where we basically are paying rent for the rest of our lives, which is crazy. This is why we unloaded everything last year. We have a few more properties. I didn't want to get stuck in this. Like, I have no interest of having a mortgage for 90 years and pass on debt to my kids, to be honest. We also have an opportunity now to reduce mortgages right now, get into a better position, and then reinvest the money at a later date. This is why this is a very different thing that we've faced in the years previous. We've never faced this, to be honest, in our generation. I think our parents did in the late 80s and obviously in the 70s in the fuel crisis, but we haven't faced this. So if you're very bullish and the whole thing, then God bless. But at the same time, for me, this is sort of like, get out, get your cash out, pay off as much debt as possible, sit tight, just sit and wait. You know, we look at our market, how it turns cycles very quickly in North America. You got to look at like something like Europe. They've been in a recession since like 2005. You can't sell product there. You're trying to sell your home, it could take you like 3 years, right? 4 years. So who knows what's going to happen? But with length of mortgages like this is insane, right? So let's keep reading here. So even though some of these amortizations are stating that some of them have been extended to 7 years or more, these aren't realistic, and it doesn't truly represent the borrower's actual payment period. Viner said on Thursday, an interview. It says, despite the extended AM periods, Viner said the bottom line is that the extend and pretend days are coming to an end. at maturity. So what he's saying, clearly you're going to have to get into a payment that actually makes sense at the 25 to 30 year payout rather than the 60 to 80 years currently right now. So it says here, office's comments should provide some consumers with clarity regarding their mortgage loans. The agency statement may eliminate the misconception some consumers may hold that their bank will not be taking action at renewal, he added. So I have a lot of clients that are talking about this where it's like, yeah, they're going to keep it going at this 60 to 80 year AM rate. But that's not set in stone, right? They're going to have to take action. Legally, a mortgage is like 25 to 30 years, so they're going to have to figure that out. If you're in a position where you look at your AM right now, if you sign into your online banking, you can kind of see how long it's going to take to pay off your mortgage. And if you're up here in the 60 to 80 years, you should start taking action now. Start paying off debt, sell what you got, and then move into something different. Pay down the debt. Like, I don't understand. Like, there's no ego in this. This is like survival. It's if you're stuck in a forest and you're looking for food, you might eat, instead of the regular protein, like a steak, you might eat a snail. But as long as you're getting your protein in, that's the whole point of it. It's survival. Obviously, that's extreme. But let's keep it going here. There's another part of this I highlighted. So it's right here. This is the one. So office's comments should provide some consumer with clarity. Okay, so we just read that now. They're going to start taking action. I think OFSA wants to eliminate the perception that consumers are able to have these extended AMs indefinitely, he said. He said it's important for these borrowers to get ahead of the issue, discuss it with their lender. Some homeowners may be caught off guard with the fact that the AMs need to be reset and renewal. This notice from OFSA reinforces the requirement and reinforces this reality. So there you go. It's just to kind of give you like a checkup from the neck up. Like this terrifies me if I'm in a situation where, we have huge debts, especially on a personal residence where we had it be paid off in 20, 30 years, and now it's like 60 to 80. It just doesn't make sense to hold on to that product. Is there brighter days at the end of the tunnel? Hopefully, but we've never faced this, so we can't determine if it's going to be amazing. Obviously, we have a huge amount of immigration. We have a shortage of houses. Could that get the market back into flux? Sure. But also, there's millions of people struggling right now financially with these mortgages being at what they are. So if the office does turn on a dime while you're mortgaging or renegotiating your contracts with your banks, and now your payments doubled indefinitely, just to bring it down to like a 25, 30 year. As long as you can hold it, you'll be fine. But ultimately, if it's going to be a situation, I would definitely look into that now. Like we're putting out programs in specifically in Kleinberg areas and areas that we're working right now. It's like if you're in, let's say, a 30-foot detach and it's worth just for example, there's nobody associated with what I'm saying. It's just in general. A 30-foot detach, you sell it for 1.4 million. You can take that 1.4 million, move it to like a neighborhood like Bolton, which is a great community to raise kids. Doesn't have the Kleinberg effect to it, but I lived in both communities, and Bolton's a very great place. And you can probably get that same product for like 1.1 million. You put $200,000-$300,000 away, you pay down your debt, and now you're back into a better situation with your family. I think these are definitely we have to take our ego out of the equation on where we live and what area code that we're currently living in, and ultimately what's better for the kids. Because if I was still in Nobleton and I see my AM go to 60, 80, I don't really give a shit. I have no attachment. Sell the product, move a little bit up north. I'd probably move to Tottenham with $2.3 million that we sold that property with. I'll buy a house in cash for 1.3, 1.4, put $1 million away, and then ultimately, if the house is free and clear, like that would make a lot more sense for me, to be honest. And that's obviously going to give me longevity. Doesn't affect my career mentally. I'm still stable. I can make the amount of money that I want, and then when the market is at a point of bottom, I can go back, reinvest, do what I got to do, which is it's that overused word of being pivotal, being able to pivot when the time's right. But that's pretty much it, guys. Have an amazing day. We will chat soon. Ciao.